Welcome to 3D Print Pulse, your essential weekly update from the cutting edge of 3D printing and additive manufacturing. Every week, we bring you the most important news and developments. The episodes are crafted by All3DP's expert editors and voiced by text-to-speech so that we can go hunting for news again. Ready for the latest? Let's dive right in.
If you own a Bambu Lab A1, a Prusa Mk4, or a Creality Ender 3, you know that nagging feeling. The machines may be fantastic workhorses, but as they don't feature an enclosure, this means dealing with noise, dust, and most importantly, potentially hazardous fumes while printing. A new, fully funded Kickstarter campaign called Clura is trying to solve this with a modular smart enclosure. Developed by a team of aerospace engineering students and makers in the Netherlands, Clura is designed to do a lot. Starting at an early bird price of $189 for the light version, the enclosure is packed with sensors. It tracks temperature, humidity, and pressure, and uses dual-layer HEPA and activated carbon filters to scrub ultrafine particles and volatile organic compounds. The smart airflow system can filter the entire internal volume in about 60 seconds, and it dynamically adjusts ventilation to ensure your printer's electronics stay at operating heat levels. It even features an integrated smoke detector for safer unattended printing. Step up to the base or pro versions, and you get extra features like a 4.3-inch touchscreen, customizable RGB lighting for good looks, and filament tracking via load cells to prevent mid-print runouts. The best part? The project is fully open source. The creators plan to put all the CAD files, software, and electronics designs on GitHub. If Clura delivers, it could be the great safety upgrade for your open-frame printer. As always, remember that Kickstarter is not a traditional store, and backing a project carries risks.
Lithophanes have always been a go-to project for 3D printing photos, but they require a backlight to properly see the image. What if there was a more striking way to print hidden pictures? All3DP's senior editor Matthew Mensley recently revisited a free web tool called Spiral Betty, and it turns out to be a secret weapon for creating optical illusion masterpieces. The website takes any photo and spaghettifies it into a single continuous spiral strand that varies in thickness to recreate the image's highlights and shadows. The real magic happens when you export that image as an SVG file and drop it directly into a slicer like Bambu Studio. The setup is simple. Create a basic cylinder primitive on your build plate to act as a 2mm thick base, and place the spiralized SVG on top, extruding it about 3mm. Merge the two models and program a filament color swap. By printing the flat base in one solid color and the raised spiral in a highly contrasting color, the hidden image dramatically pops out of the grooves when viewed from the right angle. To pull this off, you need fine details. Matthew recommends a 0.2mm nozzle. But the most crucial step is switching your slicer's wall generator to Arachne, so the software can dynamically calculate those wildly varying line widths. What does the result look like? It is a brilliant, eye-catching alternative to traditional lithophanes.
Industrial additive manufacturing generates waste, but what if the waste from a high-end industrial process could fuel your desktop 3D printer? UK-based material specialist Filament is trying to close the loop with their new RPA12. It is a 100% recycled nylon filament derived entirely from industrial multi-jet fusion powder waste. In MJF printing, the unused PA12 powder in the bed is collected and reused, but it can't be recycled indefinitely. Eventually, some of that powder has to be removed from the loop, and traditionally, it simply gets recycled. Filament teamed up with the extrusion specialists at 3Devo to rescue this surplus powder, melting it down into an FDM-ready filament without adding a single drop of virgin, fossil fuel-derived nylon. But does it lose its mechanical properties in its second life? All3DP's senior editor Carolyn Schwar looked into the technical data to find out. Filament tested the material on a Prusa Core 1L. The filament posts a tensile yield strength of up to 46 megapascals in the flat orientation. Sure, if you compare it to a machine-locked industrial filament like Stratasys PA12 running on a massive F900 machine, it falls slightly short. But in practical terms, it is solidly within the range engineers expect for mechanically loaded components like brackets, housings, and snap fits. It retains all the toughness, heat resistance, and chemical resistance that nylon 12 is famous for. The verdict? At roughly $68 a kilo, this isn't just a token eco-material. It is a legitimately strong engineering polymer that proves sustainable manufacturing doesn't have to sacrifice physical performance.
And now a word from our sponsor.
Are you an engineer or designer looking for high-precision CNC parts? Tired of waiting for manual quotes? Stop waiting. Craftcloud is your solution for instant on-demand CNC machining. Upload your CAD file, select from a wide range of materials, and instantly compare real-time quotes worldwide. Get the best price on precision parts, from rapid prototypes to mass production. We offer 3-axis and 5-axis milling, turning, and more. No minimum orders, just transparent pricing, fast delivery, and expert service. Craftcloud. We turn your CNC ideas into reality.
We just updated our 2026 guide to the best large-format 3D printers, highlighting 3 standout machines that prove going big no longer means sacrificing reliability. The overall top pick is the original Prusa XL. Starting at around $2,300, its 360mm cubed volume is actually on the smaller end of what is considered large. However, it makes up for it with unmatched reliability, an energy-efficient zonal heated bed, and the ability to upgrade to a 5-head tool changer for waste-free, multi-material printing. If you need serious scale on a budget, the Comgrow T500 takes the crown. Now fulfilled by Sovol for roughly $660, it boasts a massive 500mm cubed volume. It runs full clipper firmware out of the box and includes large bore nozzles up to 0.8mm to dramatically cut down multi-day print times. Just be warned, the bed only reaches 80 degrees Celsius, so warp-happy materials will struggle at the edges. If you want a really big machine, take a look at the Alegu Orange Storm Giga. It is hard to overstate just how massive this machine is. For $2,400, you get a colossal 800 by 800 by 1000mm build area weighing over 100 kilograms, which is literally large enough to print entire pieces of furniture in a single go. It runs on a modified Alegu version of Clipper firmware, controlled through a huge tablet touchscreen, and delivers an out-of-the-box scale that nothing else on this list can match.
And now, the news bulletins. As the Q2 2026 release of the highly anticipated IDEX multi-material upgrade approaches, Prusa has dropped a series of update videos explaining the tech. Developed with Bond Tech for the Core 1 printer, the IDEX parks and swaps lightweight nozzles rather than full extruders, utilizing electromagnetic induction to rapidly heat them. The upgrade kit is slated to cost $499 for a 4-tool head version and $699 for the 8-tool head model. Filament maker Polymaker has officially launched direct storefronts for several EU territories, including Germany, France, Spain, Poland, and Czechia, with a UK store slated for early March. To celebrate the expansion, the company is offering 20% off and free shipping through the end of March. Ford is relying heavily on 3D printing to hit its ambitious $30,000 target price for its upcoming 2027 electric pickup truck. By 3D printing thousands of prototype parts, including non-functional suspension and drive units, for wind tunnel testing, the automaker was able to make millimeter-level geometric tweaks on the fly. This drastically shortened iteration cycles and helped engineers quickly reduce drag, weight, and energy consumption.
That's it from the weekly roundup from the world of 3D printing. As usual, you can find all the links in the show notes. Thank you to our sponsor Craftcloud, and remember, you can always find more in-depth articles, reviews and guides at all3dp.com. Don't forget to subscribe and leave us a rating or review. It really helps us to bring these updates to even more 3D printing enthusiasts like you. Join us next week for another rapid-fire update. Until then, happy printing!